Okay guys, today we're going to be looking at standing in pose guard and ankle picks. So my favorite takedown for the longest time has been ankle picks, and the reason is because of this. So I have James, and oftentimes when we're standing with our opponent in a jiu-jitsu fight, when we start here or in a competition match, we get into a very neutral position where he has a lapel grip, I have a lapel grip, he controls my elbow and I control his elbow. I always talk about this position because it's very similar to a 50-50 position when we're on the ground, where we're in like a leg entanglement or a double guard pull, where him and I have the exact same things, right? So what that does is it presents similar opportunity. These grips make it really hard to shoot, right? When we're head to head like this and I try to shoot with my penetration leg, all he has to do is stiff arm me and shuck me, and I can't do anything, right? I can try to close the distance as much as I want, but it can be really, really hard. So one of the best ways to shoot is to use an ankle pick. Whether you grab same side or cross side, it doesn't really matter. I prefer the cross side, but it's more difficult to get from a standing position. So we're going to look at two different variations. So the first variation is I'm just going to drop to either my back knee, if I'm staggered, or both my knees, while I give him a little shuck. When I shuck him, I can pick his ankle. The reason that the ankle pick is such a good option to shoot when we're in this neutral position where he has a lapel and I have a lapel is because I don't need to get close to him. For example, double leg, I have to get right here, get close, get my back straight, head up. Okay? Single leg, I have to get here, get close, and keep my back straight. Ankle pick, I just have to be in range of my arm. So a big mistake that I see people make with the ankle pick is they actually get too close, which is counterintuitive for this technique. I don't want to be here. This is different. This is like a low single leg. I don't want the back of his heel at the crook of my elbow. I want it right on my palm. Okay? I want my hand to be touching the mat. I always tell people, touch the mat. Okay? We're not knee picking. If you grab up here, that's different. We're not grabbing at the calf. We want the lowest point for leverage, so here. Then to get up, I'm on my toes. I push him forward while I stand. Okay, if he falls, I drive in, and I get into a good passing position. So, when we get in this neutral position, we're grip fighting, right? We've tried shooting, we can't do anything. All we do is just drop, pick, and get up. If he doesn't fall, we go inside leg trip. Okay, so I step in with my right leg, and I make him fall. And then I get to this position. So one more time. This is the same side ankle pick. So I'm grabbing here. We're here. We're in this position. I've tried shooting. He's tried shooting. Nothing's happening. And I get here. Does that make sense? So here's another variation. When I'm here, sometimes it can be really good to do what we call a fake guard pull to an ankle pick. Fake guard pull is as simple as just putting your leg up. Just doing this. So we're here. I make him think I'm going to pull guard. For those that aren't aware of what a guard pull is, it's this. So rather than guard pull, I just put my leg up and grab his ankle. Just that little bit of faking him out might give you the opportunity to grab his ankle. So again, I'm here, right, leg up, and grab. Leg up, and grab. And I shove this grip as I pick up his ankle and step up. Right, like this. And then I drive forward. Does that make sense? Do you guys think you got it? 3, 2, 1. Okay, so guys, we're gonna take a more conceptual approach to how we can pick ankles. Because me personally, when I learned the ankle pick and how to implement it from various positions and with different approaches, it helped me accelerate my takedown game exponentially and my guard game. To this day, the ankle pick is probably one of my favorite takedowns. It's probably my favorite takedown and one of my favorite sweeps from a guard position. So, assuming I have James, I mentioned that you can do same side or cross side. The cross side ankle pick is superior because it has more of an off-balancing effect. So your opponent tends to fall very quickly. When you grab same side, it's not uncommon for him to stay up, right? If I'm here and I grab this one, it's not uncommon for us to be in this position. If he has good base, we're going to get put in this position, and I'm going to have to find an alternative way to take it down. There's a bunch of ways. I can pull the collar and turn. I can do an inside leg trip. I can bring his leg to the inside, right? So there's various ways to knock him over, but think conceptually about the fact that you have the ankle. So the odds are in your favor at this point. You have someone's ankle and collar, that's not where they want to be. You're probably going to put them on the mat. Probably. Unless they're pretty good. When you grab the cross side, it can come from different ways. I typically don't grab the cross side when we're in a standing position, and it's actually from a guarded position, but it can happen from a standing position. So for example, if we're in this neutral position, where he has a lapel, I have a lapel, I have his elbow, he has my elbow. Maybe we've been doing this for a little bit, there's no engagement, and I want to be aggressive and create some movement. I drop to my knees, maybe he sees the ankle, and he moves this one back, right? So what do? I follow through and do this. I pick the cross side. Because with the cross side, when I follow through, I don't have as much of an opportunity to stand. But I'm confident that just picking the ankle and pulling the lapel will off balance him. So I probably won't need to stand. Whereas with the same side, I will need to stand. So again, maybe I'm here, we're in this position, I drop, I go, and he moves it, and I grab the cross side. Does that make sense? That always has to be in your mind when going for ankle picks. Because he might move. That was perfect. James did the right thing. Then I grab that cross side. Still hand on the mat, guys. Try to keep your hand on the mat. Pull, and pull the lapel like a steering wheel motion. Like this. So again, we're in this neutral position. We grip up, I drop, I go, I miss. Grab the cross side. The cross side puts you in an advantageous position to pass too. That's why I prefer it. I'm technically close to passing his guard. All I have to do is follow and come to here, and I can solidify. So this is all from a standing position. Our next drill is going to be very slowly at this pace. I drop, I miss, and I let myself go forward as I pick and pull. Okay? So that's going to be our first drill. Our second drill is going to be to pull an aggressive guard. Some might even see it as a three-point wrestling stance. In wrestling, there's such thing as a three-point stance, and it looks like this. It means that I have 3 points of contact with the mat, and I'm like this. So sometimes you see wrestlers in pure wrestling start like this. And it might look funny, but why? I'm so low, it's hard for him to shoot, and I can start to engage on his lower body. In jiu-jitsu, we have a similar stance, and it's kind of like an aggressive seated guard. But I have control. I'm stuck to him. So I'm here, and I might sit down into that three-point stance, but I'm not as forward. I'm kind of on my leg. You guys see my body positioning? I might even sit to my butt, but in a position where I have the ability to tuck my heel and rock up. This was a drill I used to do all the time. Simple, looks dumb, but it will help you sweep people. Right? So I sit into this position. And now look what I do. I move him, pull, and then I can pick. Right? Whatever like he steps. Maybe I try to pick that one and he moves it. But I sit into guard, pull, try to pick, and get the near side. Even when I start playing guard, to go further into the concepts behind it. In jiu-jitsu, we start our rolls like this, and we do this. A lot of times, I'm just looking for this grip. Just like this. I'm just moving him, and trying to get his ankle. Does that make sense? So you can apply that ankle pick from so many places, and that seated guard posture from a lot of places. So first drill again, drop, I pick and miss, cross side. Second drill, I sit. Guys, the biggest mistake I see is when people sit. They sit improperly. Look how I sit, guys. I'm here, like this. And I keep myself aware. I want to bring this hand to the mat so I can move him. Does that make sense? I can circle, and I'm always following him. And I can pick cross or I can pick far. Does that you guys understand? You guys think you got it? 3, 2, 1. Okay, so guys, I'm going to teach you the most gimmicky sweep in the world. That was the first time I started sweeping as a white belt, like blue, purple, brown, even black belts. I was like, this is a joke. I was just telling James. I thought it was too easy. I was like, this person's being nice to me, and he just is okay with playing guard. Until I was like a purple, I didn't realize, like, no, people genuinely don't want to play guard, and they're just making a simple mistake, right? So what's the mistake? Imagine I'm here, and I choose to sit to guard, and then James goes to combat base, just like this, because he's going to start passing. He's obviously not aware of the threat that I can still just pick his ankle. That's why I call it the most gimmicky sweep. Because when he's in this combat-based position, the ankle pick is too easy. It's literally too easy. All you do is just come forward, rock up, and push. Yeah, every day I roll in here, I still do that. All the time. Sometimes, like, how do we start our jiu-jitsu rolls? James is on his knees. He high-fives me. We fist bump. I grab his collar. He does that. It's literally a joke. I thought it was too easy. I still, to this day, contemplate whether or not people are just giving it to me. But then, like, you can tell they scramble. They try to not let you get the pass or the sweep, and they fight. And then I'm like, okay, no, this person literally just put their foot up accidentally and didn't realize that it was a threat. Because I pass guard like this a lot. But look at the way that I am. I'm defending my ankle. He tries to pick my ankle. I'm moving my foot. So they're just not aware or quick enough to defend that. So that's a viable sweep. So anytime you get into a position where you're standing, maybe you pull, and he comes down into that position, I just pick. And do you see I'm dragging myself forward by pulling on the lapel? That's totally an option. So guys, now you're just going to sit down, practice that position, and the person's going to do this. That's a position that you will encounter for the rest of your jiu-jitsu careers when you spar. It's called combat base, and a lot of people pass the guard like this. And it can be a mistake if you're not aware. And the other lesson is, when you're doing this to pass guard, make sure you're aware of your ankle. Hide your ankle. Like this. See how much more difficult it would be to pick the back of my heel because it's rested against the back of my butt, so you can't pick it. Here I'm vulnerable. Here I'm much safer. Does that make sense? So simple things. So that's the last thing we'll work with the ankle pick. 3, 2, 1. Thanks so much for watching, guys. As usual, if you like this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.